Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 452 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gaming podcast for Words About Games. I'm one of your hosts, Amy K. Alexander, and I'm joined this week by Hot Tuner himself. It's Daffod Moody.
Hello, everybody. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's video game day. Hallelujah to the video games.
And only the video games.
That's it.
And we're also joined by the quiz maestro themselves. It's Vitz Patel.
What's good, everybody? Hope you're doing all different kinds of well out there in listener land. How's it going, everyone?
Well, I almost had to take this week's podcast off to recover from the absolute brutalization I suffered on Saturday. How about that?
Things went down. Yeah, do listen. If you haven't had a chance to catch the latest episode of Pixel Pop Stars, the one and only Amy and Moody was on there, and yeah, things happened.
Robin in my eyes was vindicated now from last season.
He was hitting me up. He was sending me some DMs today asking about the format. Me and Chaz, we were speaking offline because we might go to Comic-Con, and I was saying, well, look, Chaz, if I hang out with you, then Robin's going to instantly accuse me of colluding to the highest degree, like we don't get that every single day kind of thing. But no, it was a fun old time.
I'm Team Robin now.
There you go.
I got Robined. Not robbed. Robined. Those are two very different things. You have to be deep into the Pixel Pop Stars lore.
There you go. We'll put that on the shirt.
I got Robined. How's it going, Moody?
I'm alright. How are you two?
Yeah, pretty good. How did you find Saturday night?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like, it was a lot of fun. Can't complain, really. Like I said, I had a lot of fun. I thought it was very well done. Questions were really good. I knew Alien 3 and Alien Resurrections were going to be the ones that fucked me. When it came to me getting like a multiplier and everything, because I think I did really well on my specialty. I think I only missed, like, off the top of my head, about 5 questions, I think, maybe less. But I think it was one Pokemon question, which was the Articuno ones, I think. No, and the Pokeball one, which really annoyed me. That one annoyed me the most. Didn't annoy me as much as the one that I said about Superman and everything, but well, that's when my
Why
ADHD
did you say that name?
Yeah, as soon as he said Martha, my ADHD brain literally went there, and I was like, he's already done a trick question already once this round, so he's going to do it again, isn't he? And then my brain psyched myself out, and I was just screaming at myself. I could literally see my ADHD was in front of me, and I was behind. I'm screaming, no, it's fucking Superman. No.
Keep it simple.
Dawn of Justice. And I was just like, you fucking moron. Yeah.
We missed the golden opportunity to do the "Why did you say that name?" meme in the moment. I'm really mad about it, but at least I managed to do it here.
Things were happening, emotions were high.
Well, that was the thing,
I was having an existential crisis inside myself, so trying to do a witty humor was not going to happen at that time.
I felt really stifled by how good our competitors were, in that, like, if you remember my season 1 performance in both episodes, because I was a finalist. Whenever we got to Specialist Subject Showdown and the person whose Specialist Subject got it wrong, I would buzz in and say something stupid. But I didn't really get many usually it was Ratatouille themed. I didn't really get the chance to do that this season because everybody was buzzing in ahead of me and getting the answer right. And I was like, how dare you be so intelligent?
Yeah, Moody brought a new strategy to the game of, to be fair, I think it was coined by Amy. And buzz in first and figure it out afterwards. But
that's an Amy's strat. That's Amy was doing it way before I was.
But yeah, no, I was doing it before it was popular. Look at me,
there you go.
I'm a pixel.
In the contrarian way that Amy must. Yeah.
Well, I know how Moody felt about getting in his own head, because, like, those Stargate questions were, like I said on the show, written by somebody who has a personal vendetta against me. But, like, when the easy ones started cropping up later on, and I know Moody even pointed out, it's like, you know the answer to this, Amy, just say the answer. I'm in my head going, yeah, but that's too easy. Like all of the questions before this
have been to be sarcastic and be funny.
No, not even that. All of the questions before that was so obscure and difficult. I was like, that answer can't be the right answer. This is. It can't be. It has to be something else.
Like we always say, it's only easy if you know it. Otherwise, it can be the
I'm sorry.
thing.
The name of the teal cuckold, whatever the fuck the question was, he was in like 2 minutes of a season 2 episode and betrayed everybody and died. I'm like, come on, bro.
And then the one man who
was like
a
question
husband
3
for one episode. I was like, there's a vendetta against him. I get where Vitz is saying is
revenge.
Like it's only difficult if you don't know it, type of thing. But
all I'm saying is, all I'm asking is, did someone I defeated in season 1 write my questions?
I'm not willing to confirm or deny at this point in time.
That's a yes. Then
that's a yes. That makes it make so much sense. But yeah, no, I, like between the heat, the difficulty, man,
we did.
I was having bad times, but I want to be clear,
so Amy could not be smoked out.
I want to be clear for everybody. Yeah, after the smoking, and I want to be clear, like after the show, for anybody who's watched it, I did immediately message Vitz and be like, "Look, I know I leaned in it a bit, but that was really good, and I had a lot of fun." Which was all true.
Happen. I can corroborate that.
Which was all true. It was. I did have a lot of fun. Like I just collapsed at the end when you gave me my last question. I hit the desk for about a good solid 2 minutes.
But no, I thought I really enjoyed putting an episode together, and you know, in the first game of Wheel of Fate, I was able to pay homage to you know, one of my friends, and that's always good. And in character creations, I got to put down some of my favorite things, and yeah, it was a fun old time. And yeah, I didn't know I had so many tells. So Moody illuminated me to that. So maybe I need to mix it up.
You've had so many tells since first season, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
Then you should have known what it was. If I have so many tells, you should know.
We're not supposed to tell him.
When I
need all
said
the advantages we can get.
Raul got ahead of me in the question, so I can't do anything about that.
Because he learned your strat, and that
Raul, as soon as I said it, he went like, "Get in there before Vitz even speaks."
Raul didn't even but when you and Rahul were just constantly hitting the buzzers, like before anyone else had a chance, I just kind of sat back and I was like, "It's fine. I'll pull it back in Specialist Subject Showdown.
Nothing can go wrong."
I picked an easy one.
I picked things I know, and now I'm like, I don't think I know. I'm not
to be
convinced.
fair, you did say you knew all of Rahul's questions.
I knew more of Rahul's questions than my own, but to be fair, Rahul's questions were easier.
Really easy.
Not really.
I mean, like I said,
easy.
It's only easy if you know it, right?
But
at the end of the day,
for someone who hasn't,
it's a different ball game when the lights are on you and stuff.
For someone who hasn't watched Friends for at least 15 years. But has watched Stargate SG-1 in the past 12 months. Like I was very I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say angry because it's not. That's too strong a word. But I was very angry at my question, right?
Well, we're not putting anybody under the bus.
I am.
I am. Yeah, I would as well, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
I am. I got the Halo question. I got the Halo questions. Most of the Halo questions I got wrong was because I didn't hear the question correctly.
Yeah, you did biff a few of those as well.
Not on Vitz. Like I was just. I don't know if I just wasn't listening. I don't know what the hell was going on. Like there was 2 questions where I was like, "Oh, it's this," and then I heard you read the question again, and I was like, "Wait, no, it's not." Oh, fuck.
To be fair, I think any other Saturday when you weren't being hotboxed out your room, like you would have put a better show together.
I mean, I wouldn't have won. Ruckle got like all his questions right in a row, apart from like 1.
Yeah.
So,
I think because they were crushing the Crash Bandicoot stuff anyway. I was dead. It was a fun old episode, and like Simba bought some really fun topics, so it was fun to put those together.
Yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender, which like I knew none of the
Did you watch the Avatar: Last Airbender, or have you started, should I say?
Heck no. I've had no time for that. So some of the cool things we've been getting up to this week was putting 2 interviews together. So smash those. Should be hearing about those really, really shortly. And yeah, got a call back about another one tomorrow. So yeah, fun old time. So no times to be checking out. I guess it's not considered anime, right? Or is it?
It
No,
depends.
it's not anime, but it's heavily influenced by anime.
Like,
it's a Nickelodeon cartoon. It is dubbed in a cartoon, but it's very influenced by anime.
It's an animated series. People, I call it anime
cartoon,
because
is animated series. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to be putting anybody out.
yeah, I piss people off all the time because I'm not that precious about the term anime, because it's definitely like anime. It feels like an anime when you watch it, so I just call it an anime, and then people get mad at me.
Right,
it's not an anime.
Died.
It's not an anime.
I can't believe I was catching strays watching Bluey, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, you got to check out this cartoon."
Everybody else erupted in defense of you watching Bluey. I'll have you know.
I was not offended by you watching Bluey.
Like, one person was like, "You watch Bluey," and everybody else in the call was like, "Of course he does."
Bluey's it was only wrong.
Bluey's fire. Everybody should watch Bluey.
It's what I believe is the biggest show on Disney right now. So.
Bluey's great. I love Bluey. Speaking of cool things, should we do our new segment for the week that we've been talking about, which is currently titled "Cool Things We Like," because I'm great at naming things. Yes.
So one of the cool things that dropped this week, I know last week, dear friends, we hit you with the GTA 6 trailer, or a couple of weeks ago maybe.
Was that cool?
Now it's time for the GTA 7 trailer.
Exactly.
See you in 20 years, motherfuckers.
It was cool to me, damn it. And another trailer dropped this week, and it was the first official trailer for Superman, and the score alone sold me on this movie. Now, there's a lot going on in the trailer, and I'm not a DC comics reader. There's a few kind of anthology like books that I have, but I'm not reading week to week or anything like that, and I'm nowhere near as familiar with anything going on in DC that I am in Marvel through watching like the MCU movies and stuff. But for all of the shenanigans which are going on inside that movie, I think this movie is going to be at the very least good. And what John Murphy and David Fleming have done to rework John Williams' iconic theme has to be applauded. And yeah, it's incredible. I think David Cornsweet is going to make an amazing Superman. I already love his chemistry with Lois. And yeah, looking forward to this.
Cool. I haven't read DC for years. I used to be a DC reader. When Comixology didn't suck ass, I used to subscribe to a bunch of weekly comics.
Yeah.
And then
they're bringing people like Mr. Terrific in this, and I was like, I ain't got a clue who you are. And then people talking about it like Ultraman. I was like, what the heck is going on? And then I was like, hey, I know Isabella Merced. She's brilliant. I see her in Hawk Girl. But yeah, that's around about it.
Talk to me when they introduced the Condiment King to the DC connected universe.
So you mean condiments like ketchup and mustard and mayo?
I do mean condiments like ketchup and mustard.
Hell yes.
It's comic books, man. There's a lot of weird shit in those comic books.
That's it.
I finished reading a book today, actually. This one, The Tainted Cup, by Robert Jackson Bennett. It's quite cool. It's a fantasy murder mystery book. It's set in quite a unique world, and it's the two main characters. The main investigator is very eccentric, but it's told from the POV of her assistant. He was very not eccentric. So it creates a nice character dynamic. And I don't really when I don't read or watch a lot of mystery stuff or murder stuff. So I'm not and when I do, I'm never trying to guess the culprit. I'm never trying to read the clues and be like, I know who did this.
Yeah, who done it?
It was Mr. Plum in the whatever with the whoever. I don't know. I'm played off. I just watched the movie that one time. But it was a very entertaining book, actually. I really liked it a lot. I think it's been nominated for a Hugo Award as well.
Nice.
But no, it's very good if you like that kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
The Tainted Cup.
I know Amy's petitioned hard for Pixel Pop Stars to include some books.
Give me a chance for it.
She might be like, I've never seen any of these.
I was. You'll see every time you said from the world of Disney, you can see me physically just go. Never mind.
And that's just because you said Disney.
I'll still never forgive Disney for what they did to LucasArts.
After who?
LucasArts.
Oh.
I think I've told that story before on the podcast where I was dating someone and I said, fuck you, Disney. And she was a massive Disney fan and she didn't really know anything about games. And she was like, why the fuck did you say that? I was like, because they suck.
There are many parts of Disney that suck.
And that's why Amy's single.
Basically. It's the only reason.
She was too honest.
It continues to be too honest.
She unleashed her podcaster in her before.
Yeah, I gotta keep that shit contained.
Like to imagine she was like, I can't live a lie anymore.
I just can't do this anymore.
Exactly.
Fuck that stupid fucking mouse. Fantasia gave me nightmares. But yeah, no. I also watched a cool YouTube video by Magula about the William Shatner's Tech War, which was fun and entertaining because I knew there was a terrible video game. I did not know there was a terrible series of movies or a terrible TV series.
Wow.
And I mean, I knew there were books because I knew that's what it was based on. But
so did he try to do like a Michael Jackson when he tried to make Moonwalker a thing and made a video game?
He did make it a thing. Like it was 9 books, and then 4 made-for-TV movies, and then 1 season of television, and then a video game.
Damn.
Like, dude did it. But it's a good. It's by the YouTuber Magula, and it's about 2 hours long. But actually, like, for all the fun you have goofing on, like, you know, this goofy 90s like multimedia property, like transmedia property, it actually, like, the video ends with like quite a good conclusion, like quite a meaningful conclusion, like salvaged out of this weird 90s cyberpunk franchise. But yeah, it was really good. I'd recommend it. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description and whatever else we talk about in this segment. If there's anything else anybody else wants to talk about, cool things that they've seen for the last or done or whatever for the last week. Fight the algorithm. Cool. I love Discord.
Yeah, for me, it's Andor. That's what I want to talk about. I think Andor. That's the thing. That's just great right now. It's the final episode's released this week. It's arguably, like I was saying, it's arguably the best thing that Star Wars has really ever really done. And I know that's a high bar when it comes to like the original films and everything, because they're highly lauded and everything. And the prequels are kind of slowly, I think, creeping up there because of a lot of things that the animated shows and everything have done that for them. But no, this is just, for me, it's not Star Wars. It's just a great show. That's all it is. It is in the Star Wars universe and everything, but it is just a great show with great characters, and makes the blandest character from Rogue One an interesting character, and makes you actually feel for him by the end of that movie now and everything. I still stand by the Rogue One is not the greatest of films personally for me. I think it's very poorly written. I think it's, like I said, I think it's saved by the battle and the Darth Vader scene at the end of the movie. But overall, yeah, Andor, just forget about Rogue One altogether. Andor's just a great show. I know I've been saying that for you, Amy, for a while, especially for the first season. But I truly think, like, forget it, Star Wars. It's just a great show, and I think it's something you would really like.
That's what this whole pitch is. It's not, hey, I think Andor's really good. It's like, Amy, for the love of God, watch this fucking TV show.
Watch this show, then go and watch X-Men 97. And then
Amy. Stop reading your stupid books.
I can watch SG-1 again.
I think I need
Don't
to.
Don't give her a hint, man. Jesus.
I think I need to. I clearly wasn't paying enough attention last time.
That's true.
It.
Like, yeah.
Apparently,
You got to prepare for season 3, have you?
I'm coming back with the same specialist subject. I'm going to write down every name in those fucking credits. Let me tell you.
Who directed episode 2 of season 5?
Surprised that wasn't one of the questions.
What was it called and what was the runtime of it?
What was the exact runtime? Like 43, 44? Like it was a network show, right? They all had to be the same length. Got you. It was so bad.
Seconds, though.
I know we're bringing back the Pixel Pop Stars topic. It was so bad. I just started saying random facts about the thing Vitz was talking about because I was like, I do know this stuff. Trust me. Please. Please.
Oh, that's cool. That was a nice roundup for cool things we like.
Yes, cool things we like, which I realized I didn't explain. I've never explained. I don't know if it needs much explanation. Cool things we like. We can do it every week.
Cool things. Exactly.
Cool things we liked because algorithms suck and we like should be recommend. I'm bad at recommending things to people. Like I always forget to tell people like, hey, this cool thing. Hey, this cool thing. Like that I liked. Like you should check it out, you know? So
yeah. Dear listener, please let us know in the comments what your cool thing is that you liked.
Hell yeah.
In the comments.
And if it was Andor, just it's cool. Just don't add and Amy, you should watch it at the end of it. I know, okay? No, I'm aware. There's a lot of things I should watch. Next, it'll be, Amy, where's that Mass Effect video?
How do you want me to do the Mass Effect video when you're telling me to watch Star Wars all the goddamn
I'm watching Star Wars!
Exactly.
They're the same thing. Anyway, speaking of cool things we like, I think this is just the first half of this podcast. Is just actually the whole podcast. The whole podcast is good news this week. I like it. I like this energy. Me and Vitz, you might have noticed if you've been watching the last few podcasts, me and Vitz have been playing a little game called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And Moody's playing it now too.
Yeah, I was going to say, now we've been joined.
And Moody's played the prologue. Yeah. Vitz and Amy like it? Ooh. Delete that off my list.
I'm an hour or two into it. I've literally just got to the beginning of the first act. So.
Well, I mean, I wasn't setting that up as a... And Moody can join in with his thoughts about the game. It was just hey, Moody's playing it too.
Yeah, that was it.
Did you find the mime in the prologue?
What mime?
Yeah, that was my reaction as well.
You know.
I didn't find the mime. Vitz was talking about this mime, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
With a big head?
Yeah.
And you're fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought.
It was just me then.
Is it before the Gamache?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't find that one. When I was contemplating platinum the game, I saw that was one of the trophies, and I was like, "Oh motherfucker!"
I'll say one bit for myself is that the
cinematic. Much as you want, champ.
The cinematic for the opening when you go on the expedition, everything like that, and everything that happens, I literally go, and I hope I'm massively wrong when I say this. And I don't want you to say anything, because even though I don't really care about spoilers, I kind of just want to digest this a little bit. I feel like I already know the story. Just from that cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very interested. So that's kind of piqued my interest. I
was going to say that's good, right?
That's really good. There's no doubt about that. I just haven't got back to it.
Is it worth you telling us what you think is going to happen, and then Amy and I will stay
maybe off screen in case he's alright?
Yeah,
because I do want
to. No, I don't think Ivy's will stay stonefist. So.
I could definitely keep the poker face. It's just if we're going to do this as a spoiler-free review and Moody just nails the plot of the entire game, it might be a bit.
Maybe we'll put that in future weeks then.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after this.
Yeah,
I'll write.
I'm gonna make myself.
Moody can tell us where he thinks it's good, and we'll just sit here like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just unplug my cable and freeze, and then you'll never know what I'm doing.
There's one way to do it.
So we'll do this like we've done the last couple of reviews here. Like we'll give our top line level thoughts, and then we'll just ask questions and geek out for a bit. That's how we did Blueprints, and that's how we did the Atomfall. Was it Atomfall?
Yes,
we did that for Atomfall. yeah, so Vitz, I'll let you go first.
Yeah,
resident Ben Star stan.
Exactly. What a video game. This has rocketed into contention for it's up there in the pantheon for my favorite games of all time. Yes, it's rough around the edges in parts, and but for a first collective effort from the studio and all the other people they collaborated with, it's masterpiece in terms of what it's doing on a gameplay level. And I know coming into this, they were saying, "Oh, we're going to redefine the JRPG genre," and everyone was like, "Yeah, all right, calm down, pipe down, wind your neck in. It's only your first game, kind of thing." But you know what? I didn't appreciate the game they had. I didn't know they had hands like that. And in many ways, they have pushed the genre forward. I wouldn't necessarily say they redefine things, but yeah, for what they've been to put down from a storytelling point, from a writing point, and just how weird this game is, and in this beautiful way, they don't explain any of it, and they don't need to. It's like, okay, everything's weird. It's all messed up. Just go with it, and it's fantastic for that.
It's like Final Fantasy, like
exactly
the older Final Fantasies. I can't speak for the PS2 era ones, but the PS1 ones, it's like it's a world. It's got some weird stuff in it. It's silly occasionally, and you're like, cool, and you're like, and you just roll with it, and it's like, I'm rolling. Like, this is great.
We don't need to explain. We don't need to know why Lune floats about all the time. Why she doesn't wear any shoes. Just let her be.
Just let her float.
Exactly.
How can Tifa punch a god? It's a whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, just go with it. It's a JRPG. That's what they do.
Yeah. How about you mind your business and just enjoy the video?
How about you mind the business and just keep looking at her feet, you perv. No, like,
what are your top level thoughts?
For my top level thoughts were like I did my media blackout of this game after seeing the first trailer, which I think was at the Xbox Game Showcase, but everybody keeps trying to tell me it was Game Awards, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was Xbox in the summer, yeah.
Because I was watching it with Moody, and there's no way Moody was watching the Game Awards live. And like I had expectations of like enjoying it, right? I love a good turn-based RPG. Like I like French people. Like those were the only two things I really knew about the game.
I'm indifferent towards Ben Starr.
Ben Starr's cool. I like Ben Starr.
I'm joking. Yeah.
I was like that Simpsons meme, where it's like everybody should be asking, "Where's Poochie?" And I was like, "Where's Ben Starr?"
He had to go away to his home planet.
He was this Robert Pattinson looking motherfucker. But like, no, I went in with expectations, and I didn't expect those expectations to be so thoroughly and completely blown out of the water by what I played of this game. Like, my estimation of this game just continued to like rise with like everything. Like, I thought the intro was one of the best intros I've ever played, like in an RPG for a very long time. Like, I love the fact that they just took their time to set a tone and a mood and introduce you to characters, and it's like not everything has to explode in the first 5 minutes of the game. And then like you do the first part, and then like Moody says, pew pew pew, and then you do like the first part of the game, and I was like, okay, I'm settling into a nice rhythm here, and then I'm enjoying myself, doing my thing, and then I cross the threshold into some really silly stuff.
Yeah.
And then once I crossed that threshold, I was like, this is the best fucking game I've ever played in my life.
Once the comedy starts hitting,
yes.
Oh, we're going here.
Yes, and it balances the two things really well. Like the silliness and the humor balances really well with like this is a French game. So clearly there's a massive element of tragedy and drama to the game as well. And it balances those two things exceptionally well. And yeah, like to echo what you said, I said to Sadie when I convinced her to play this game, like, because I was complaining about the Souls-like thing, which is not Souls-like. Stop saying it's a Souls-like. Like I said, this is the best Final Fantasy there has been in decades.
Yeah. There's a piece going around online that this is the Final Fantasy that Square Enix wanted to make for the last 10 years. Yeah. And just hasn't been able to for reasons or another. And yeah, it's amazing. I want to take a moment to speak about the soundtrack because it's there's a thread going around on Bluesky at the moment saying your top 4 game soundtracks of all time. It didn't quite make that cut for me yet, but I think in time it will. And obviously we have some of the iconic themes that we hear a lot, and
like the Mime boss fight.
But yes,
and, with the accordion,
the gestural theme when you get to some of the mini games.
That's the gestural battle theme.
Yes,
is one of the sickest tracks. I don't even usually like that kind of music, and I was like, "This is fucking great."
Because all of a sudden it'll say, "How about some jazz?" But some of the tracks towards the latter half of the game that have vocals to them, some of the most soul-stirring stuff you'll ever hear. And yeah, the YouTube algorithm at the moment is awash with various different composers who don't interact with video games, listening to tracks from Clair Obscur, and their minds are blown in terms of, wait, they're doing this with just a string quartet just to make it intimate, but then suddenly it goes and it's so expansive, it's bombastic, and it does all these things. And yeah, when you hear the story of how this soundtrack came together and how the composer was just putting stuff up on SoundCloud, and then all like through happenstance it came across the studio came across it kind of thing. It was like, right, we're giving the whole soundtrack to you. This is like when it's akin to the whole of Queen just doing the Queen doing the whole Flash soundtrack, or like Prince saying Batman 89, I'm doing the whole damn thing. It's akin to that, of just completely out of the blue and blowing people's minds.
Well, it's a great soundtrack. There's a song whose title and usage in the game I won't mention. Yes. Towards the end of the game, where it's like, this is the hypest thing I've done in a video game all year, and I loved every minute of it. And if we ever do a spoiler cast of the game, I will gush about a certain section of the game. Yes. For at least 5 minutes. But the music is great. Like there's so many different tracks, and so many different variations on tracks, and especially when you go into, and I know you didn't do as much of this as I did, the post game.
Post game, but pre-game.
I'm smirking because I did it before I finished the game, and I trivialized the last level of the game by accident.
To be fair, I did it too, and
I was level 90.
I wasn't that high. I was mid 70s by the time I was like, I've done as much as I want to do in the overworld, which is stunning. Yes, performance issues are here, and it's Unreal 5, and that has some issues, especially with this game. But to go from the fully 3D environments that you go through on a level type environment, like in a biome, to going to the overworld, and how it has this kind of like diorama quality to it, it's spectacular, and
you don't realize how much of it, like it's that classic, and again. Like, I'm going to say RPG. I was going to say it's that classic Final Fantasy thing, but other RPGs do it, where it's like you don't get how big the world is, and then it expands, and you think, oh, this is quite big, but then it expands again, and it's like, oh, this is really big, but then it expands, you know what I mean? And it kept expanding and expanding and expanding, and it was just like, how big is this place? Why does everything say danger in red letters? What's going on? But yeah, no, I wasn't too keen on the overworld map as it was. It just felt it was beautiful to look at, but it just kind of felt flat from like a gameplay perspective type thing until I unlocked some alternative travel methods. And then I was like, oh, this is why it's like this.
That's it. And there's definite improvements that I could suggest in terms of and I don't want to get too much into the weeds here because this is very much top level, but in terms of just having a list of all the places you visited and places you cleared out, for a better word, to say if you've done a big bad in that area, then it'd be nice just to refer to a list to say, oh, you know what, I've done this.
So I had a system for this where I didn't it only put markers on the overworld map with names if you go into the place. So if I went to a place and it was like, you shouldn't come in here, you're going to get wrecked, I'll be like, cool, I'm not even going to go in, I'm just going to fly away. Because the icon's still there. Yeah. The icon's still there. So, like, I think my post-game air quotes, experience was literally I was just flying around until I found the one place that didn't say danger. And then I go in and I do the thing, and then I'd be like, cool, and then I'd find the place I'd hit the appropriate level for, to go in and do that one, and I was like, all right, I see how you work. I see how you work, Clair Obscur.
To Amy's point, it is too easy to be overpowered by the time you get to the end game of here. It's in the end of the main story.
The end of the main story.
To the point where there's dialogue that I missed that happens in between fights, like in the midst of fights. You just don't get because you're one-tapping enemies.
I was one-tapping them,
So
although I will say the end game's got hands. Holy shit.
Yes.
Like I went from white knuckle in a boss fight, like an incredible multi-stage boss fight with a really brutal mechanic to it, and like having the time of my life, to being like, you know what, I think I'm gonna just go and finish the story now. Did it like 15 minutes. I was like, oops. I saw how much health the boss had when I did the damage, and I remembered how much damage I had been doing, and I was like, oh shit. I should have done this almost immediately. But while we're speaking of damage and stuff, I really like the combat. Like, despite not liking turn-based games that have that, but you still have to be active, like with the dodges and the parries and stuff. Like, I wish an option existed in the menu to turn the dodge windows up without lowering the overall difficulty, but unfortunately it didn't. So I was playing the game on easy, just for my own reflexes.
Ain't nothing wrong with that,
But I would have preferred it to keep the difficulty the way it was, but just be able to dodge.
But until they kind of separate the two, then
there's nothing you can do about it.
And I don't believe there's any sort of achievements or trophies tied to difficulty. So
I mean, well, no, not strictly. Some of those super bosses, though.
Okay, they're still gonna give you a challenge. But yeah, it's interesting that there's definitely different ways to approach the combat, and as Amy alluded to, there's dodges which are very much easy of the two to pull off, but you do have the ability to parry as well. And while the game lies to you at the front, saying dodges and parries are not necessarily vital, no, that's all lies. They are.
There's a tipping point. There's like a fulcrum tipping point where it's like they are at the beginning, but then you reach this tipping point of power where it's like if you've got enough stats, it's like then it becomes not, and then you get into the end game and it's like it very much is now again. But the builds that you can accomplish with this game, like I know there was that thing where like one of Mael's moves got nerfed, Stendhal, which I wasn't even using. I was using a different move that I believed was overpowered, but it's like they've taken an approach to the game where it's like,
did that one cost you 9 AP points as well? I'm not asking you to name the actual move.
No, like I wasn't doing Stendhal that levels of damage when I looked into what was going on, and people were doing like 1 billion damage, and I was like, maybe this is a bit overpowered. But like, no, because of the way everything fits together, like. And how different characters work. Like, she wasn't the only character I was doing massive amounts of damage with.
100%. Lune, like, thanks to your tips, was...
Lune was easy to set up to do a lot of damage. Minoko was easy to set up to do a lot of damage for me. And I'm sure the other characters are as well. I just never wrapped my head around, like, how they worked. But the joy of it is in, like, digging into all of the different systems and... putting things together. So like you've got the moves that you can unlock, so you can unlock the different moves. Each character has their own. Each character has basically stepped out of a different video game. Like they have completely different like fighting mechanics, and I fucking love that. Like when I got Minoko and started really digging into like his moveset and how his stuff worked, that was amazing to me. Like he was my favorite character to control. And like use and like build into, but you combine all those different moves with the pictos that you pick up, which took me a minute to wrap my head around it until I realized it's just the gear system from Final Fantasy IX. Where it's like you put on when you equip a gear in Final Fantasy IX, it comes with a skill, And once you've like won the gear enough through battles, it's like you learn that skill as a passive, which you can then activate. And you've got so many slots to like build, to make a build with it. And once I figured that out, I was like, I'm away.
Oh, absolutely. And
the level of ridiculousness that you can, the shenanigans you can get up to, like as you get in further and further into the game, and the things that you can unlock that your characters can do. And that's where the game breaking comes from. And Sandfall Interactive, the developers, are like, yeah, we want you to break this game. Like, it's just this one move that we turned up too much because it wasn't working. But like, no, like, yeah, I was doing millions of damage by the end.
Yeah, there are some absolutely wild builds you can do. You know, some of them involve killing yourself, but also having a passive that always leaves you 1 HP. But by essentially murdering yourself, you can do enormous damage to your enemy and whatnot. And it's to a point where I was essentially building glass cannons for all of my characters because I have to be able to parry 90% of the stuff that's coming at me until I learned the rhythms of whoever I was fighting, and then I was like, okay, I've got you downloaded, you're done now. So if I did get hit, then my characters be wiped out, but that was fine because so long as they were able to get a move off, it was game over for anybody else. And it was just so fun to play around with it. And then as you fight, your Pictos would level up with you. So even if you had like a low level Picto to begin with, that would stay with you, and your build would just keep on improving. And just finding new ways to set up some of the higher level moves, because sometimes you need a different elemental effects to be in play before you can use a special type of move kind of thing. And just finding out, okay, what's the most efficient way of going about this? And there's so many different types of...
Let me ask Amy. Here, it's this.
Exactly. But then I was tinkering around and I found an even more efficient way of doing it.
Perfect. That's
exactly.
awesome.
And that's what I'm saying. That there's so many different ways. But yeah, this game is amazing. And I just want to pick out one piece of writing that I absolutely lost my shit over because it was so funny. Each of the characters, they have loyalty missions like you would find in a Mass Effect 2 or similar RPGs, and one that you do for a character Amy mentioned before, Minoko.
I already know it.
They come across to a fight, and they're with one of the companions on the team, and they turn to Minoko and say, "Oh, I bet you just want to do this solo." And Minoko turns around and says, "No,
please help me."
No, please help me. It's all right.
I genuinely like. I think you could make an argument. I think like if I said to 100 Clair Obscur fans, who is your favorite character, I'd get 100 different answers and different reasonings for it. And like I can see it. Like I can see like every single character being someone's favorite. Like the writing in this game is incredible. I love these characters.
Yes.
I love these characters so much. Like the entire time I was playing through it, like when I realized there was like more like story stuff for them, like after Act 2, like because you essentially like you finish an act and then it's like, okay, now go do this thing. But if you pump the brakes a bit, there's so much more story, like an incredible amount. Like one of the reasons I was level 90 when I did the final level, and I was so over leveled, was because I was just kept finding areas and finding out new pieces of information, new pieces of lore, new little story tidbits. But like for all of that, like intrigue and interest in like the world and what the fuck is going on in this world, like for me it was always came back to the main characters, and just like I love these characters, every single one of them. But I think Binoko's my favorite character.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Just the way that occasionally just it'll be a cutscene and everyone's going, right, yep, we're doing this, and then Minoko would just tap the shield on top of his face. I will say, dear listeners, if you are one who kind of just typically golden passes a game, obviously you can do that in that game, and that's all above board. No one should tell you otherwise. But I implore you to do the loyalty missions for the characters, because there is one in particular which is so special. It's a shame that it's not part of the main campaign.
It's one of the critiques I think I would have about the structure of the game. I think at the very least, because I know we're talking about the same their companion quest. Like at the very least, I think that one, but I think all of the companion quests should be mandatory. Like I think they should be part of the actual story because of the way the camping system works and the conversations between the characters works. Like it's gated by progress anyway. You only talk to the characters like as it goes as like when after certain moments in the story.
Yes,
and I just feel like that's one of the things like you need to experience at least that one before you go and do the final fight. But I think I'm just biased because I'm like I loved it. Like I loved the writing, I loved the performances in that scene, in all of the scenes. Like there's so much stuff that I only found out in doing that post game stuff where I was like, damn, like that's cool. Like, but also like I would be mad if I didn't know this.
No, 100%. Yeah, I was such an evangelist for this game that when it came to trading it in, so the listener, as a net, £19 it's cost me, which is the bargain of a century for one of the greatest games of all time. Exactly. But yeah, I was such an evangelist for this game that the person I was trading it into at the store was they'd never heard of this game before. So I spent a good 5 minutes just waxing lyrical about this game, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna play it. We're gonna try it. This sounds awesome." So
just pulling out their own credit card and just being like, "Oh, I guess I'm buying this."
I'm putting it on a shelf back here, so it's not going back in the regular stock. Yeah, this one's for me.
I love that you and I have just slowly been spreading Clair Obscur Expedition 33 to everybody we know, because like we've now both convinced people to buy this game.
Absolutely,
it's like do it. You have to do it. Like. Like you're dead to me if you don't. No, I'm just kidding. Like you do you. But no, like how did you find without going into spoilers, like how did you find the story, like overall, like the main narrative?
So I thought it was clunky in parts. And it had kind of peaks and troughs where it was kind of right build up to a point, and then you'd reach this apex point and the story would be amazing, and then there'd be this lull, and it's kind of, oh, okay, well, there's an even bigger thing to go after. Well, the whole world perspective has shifted on you, and now you've got a new thing to chase, and it's like, okay, well, you know, we're still processing what just happened, and now there's a new thing to go after. But to your point about it being French through and through, I think that really worked for this game, and how I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to speak too much about this. But yeah, I did have to take some time just to sit to process what was going on in the story, and that's why I just found it a bit clunky. Because if I just kept plowing through, then I wouldn't have absorbed as much.
That's fair. Yeah, there are some moments that definitely need I need a minute.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ. Like yeah, I did clock a couple of like twists, and I use the word twists like I don't like the way people talk about plot twists where it's like, you know, it has to be surprising. I don't think plot twists necessarily have to be surprising. Like the whole point is like you build towards a twist like throughout the whole story. So if somebody's paying close enough attention and they figure it out, it's still a cool twist when it happens.
Yeah.
So I don't think I was like, I don't think I needed as much like, what would you say, like to think about it as much as necessarily you, like a couple of times where it was like, I did already see that coming, still fucking blew my mind though.
Yes.
The ending though was, I'm torn. I'm sitting with that ending for a long time. Like,
so, and it's not something I'm going to ask you here on the podcast. We'll talk about this offline. Yeah, because there's different ways this can go. Yeah. So yeah, let's pick this up.
So that's all I'm going to say on that. Yeah. Like, if you know, you know. I'm so like going backwards and forwards on like, oh, then I don't know about that ending too. No, it was great too. I don't know too. It was great too. But yeah.
And this all depends on how you chose to play, and that's one of the great things about this game. So,
last question for you, Vitz, and I do want to ask Moody a question. Did you find Expedition 60's journal entry?
Yes.
It is one of the single greatest pieces of written fiction in video game history.
That needs to be in the Louvre. Put it up there.
I want that framed.
Engrave that onto a stone tablet and put it up in the Louvre.
I'd heard people talking about Expedition 60, like memeing about Expedition 60 before I got to that point. And I was like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. And then I found Expedition 60's journal entry, and I was like, holy fucking shit, I get why everybody's losing their minds over this. This is amazing. Yes. It's so good. Moody. Hello.
Oh,
you can come out.
Konbanwa.
You can. What was it they used to call it when you went on that game show where they went in the soundproof box so they couldn't hear the other person answering?
No idea.
Oh,
you could come out of your isolation chamber or whatever. It was from the 90s, so Vitz should know.
Yeah, it was like
From all 90s.
Family Fortunes. Family Fortunes. That was it. Do you, as
It's
someone
1 year older than all of us, or maybe 2 for me, but 1 year older than you.
So, as someone who is just getting into this game, and obviously you're sitting on a podcast with 2 people who have finished it, to varying degrees of completion percentage, is there? Do you have any questions about anything?
No.
Cool. So that's going to do it for our Clair. I always keep trying to call it Clair Expedition. I keep trying to cut out the word obscure.
Robo Dessert over on Bluesky, they had the funniest post, and it's a picture of Mael, who is on the box art of the game, and it's like, I got my homage at Clair's Obscur.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Clair's is like the stuff. It was brilliant.
I don't think I will say about the game is right now is that I have worries about the game is that everybody's gushing about the game and everything, and I did little bit here what you guys were saying while messing around listening to my music and everything.
Wasn't an isolation.
My worry is that it's not going to hit the hype. Then that's ultimately what it's going to, like, everyone's gushing all over it, and I'm just like, all right, like, the opening's good. I see why you really enjoyed it, Amy, and everything. I think the opening is a good opening. I just don't think I don't think it's a blow me away omen, but I do agree with you on, like, it doesn't go in and go pew 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 or anything like that. It takes its time and gets you to know with one character and a couple of other characters.
Like no game, I purchased you and installed you and have started playing you on purpose. Do not worry, you have my attention whether something blows up or not.
yeah, I do. I see that and everything. I think going off what I've played so far, I think musically wise, it's very lovely. The soundtrack sounds like it's really going to be a banger. I'm not clicking with a lot of the voice acting. I'm not enjoying Charlie Cox right now. The worst thing is about it, and I know you joked about it at me and everything like that. I am seeing a lot of bugs, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah,
but that's my QA tester brain though. It's the worst thing about being a QA tester. I'm playing another game and I'm just seeing nothing but bugs right now.
Yeah,
and I know, like, say all games go out in a buggy state. I do get that and everything, but it's joke. I know you laughed about it and everything like that, and it is a funny thing about it for it. But because I've seen it so many freaking times, texture popping really irks the shit out of me. And then all I saw was texture popping, and I'm like, for fuck's sakes, can we not get a game not having massive texture popping straight away? I get you're a small fucking studio, but this is a fucking joke. Honestly, you had Microsoft giving you money to help you with this game. Hang
on.
If you needed longer, you delay it to get it more polished and everything.
Let me
and it is irking. It does irk me.
No. I'm gonna step in and defend here. You had Microsoft paying you to play this game, like you should fix the texture popping when they just released Oblivion. And like, whoa, Microsoft money does not fix texture popping. I'm just throwing that out.
Microsoft doesn't have the high standards.
Yeah,
it comes to what's acceptable on the platform.
I get what you're saying there, but you still have Microsoft backing you here. You should have done more or should have delayed it longer. That's my honest personal opinion here for that. I know you're laughing at me. I can see it and everything and whatnot, but it pisses me off and everything. It just really is, because the shit QA testers get online is just for some buggy games and everything like that is abhorrent. It is absolutely.
I mean, I agree, but is that not the direction we're taking this conversation? Like, there's some texture popping in the game, like, and I get it bugs you, and like I understand that part, but I mean, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and
it has been worse though. It is bad. I don't think it's great right now.
To that point, clearly this isn't like a one-off. So it's not like you're the only person getting the popping, and this is prevalent throughout it all. And you know, I was when I first started playing this, I remembered. I think maybe Amy texted to say, "Oh, there's a lot of popping in this game." Having said that, the game itself is so amazing, and to your point, Moody, like everybody's gushing about it, that all of those issues, and there are issues, completely wash away for me. And I hope that happens for you. And I get that people have different sensitivities to bugs and whatnot. Like, I have zero patience for any Bethesda jank, and you know, there's different gradations of what people's patience are. But you know, sometimes bare naked muscles will save the world. That's all I'm gonna say.
Sorry, it's a good joke. I understood that.
But yeah, I hope you continue with this game, and I hope that it really clicks for you, and that you fall for it as hard as we all have. But of course, if you don't, then that's fine too.
I hope so as well, because no game in 2025 has made me go want to play it or anything like that. So that's the thing. What's worrying more than anything for me in 2025, it's like nothing's making me go, "Oh, I should play this."
Yeah, to be fair, like you came
I only got the
Yakuza
game, and that sounds really bad again. I only got the Pirates game because I'm really in a Yakuza zone right now and everything. But even then, I've just I said to Amy, it's like I think I've hit my wall with it right now when I needed to change it up. So I went for this game because everyone's gushing about it, and you guys are gushing about it and everything. But it's just right now it's not blowing me away.
I would say like in that case, like, and I know you haven't bought the games, you've just rented it. It sounds like, and I'm not trying to be mean or critical here. It sounds like you're placing the game in a no-win situation. It might be worth just like putting down for a bit.
I don't think I am.
Like, okay, no, that's fair.
I think where Amy was alluding to that, people weren't in the right headspace to play Dragon Age when it first came out, and it might have been better for the game if people just cooled off for a bit and then came back to it at a later date. Maybe that's the situation. But
agreed with. I thought that I even did that myself. I was like, with all the shit that game was getting and everything, I couldn't play it. Like I returned. Well, so I traded it back into CEX and got something else and everything. Like I know there's parts. Yeah, I did. Yeah, there's parts with like that. Yeah, I completely agree. I don't have that feeling for that right now, or anything like that. But I think it's different. But it is different because that a lot when it came to Dragon Age, everything what you were hearing was nothing but hate or mixed bag and everything and whatnot. This one, it's completely different, which I'm hoping is going to be a positive for me to help me continue and everything like that, because it's all glowing and everything for the most part to what I hear and everything. The worst, like the hard thing for me is just sitting down and playing a game without my tester hat on.
Do you want me to come down to your house with a bat?
That.
And every time you complain about texture, I'll just bonk you.
No, thank you.
Not like super hard. I'm not gonna like swing full. Or like
say yes when you come up, you'll bring a bat with you.
Or I'll just hit. What? Not a bat. What about a sprayer ball? Every time you go texture pop in, I'll just go.
Exactly. I'll hopefully have the game played by then. I'm hoping that this weekend to have a proper crack at it and everything like that. It's hard for me to try and start a new. Sorry.
How are you finding the combat of what you've experienced so far? I appreciate it might be limited.
It's limited right now.
Yeah, I was going to say
I can't answer it. I'm literally at the beginning of Act 1, mate. I can't answer it. I've done a couple of little tutorial ones, but other than that, I can't answer it.
Yeah, no, that's fine then.
Yeah, well, like this is what I think. Like why I hated being off been unemployed and everything like that because I got back into enjoying games, not thinking about bugs or anything like that and everything like that. And I think like basically I can't play a new game or any game during the week when I'm working. It's a hard for me because my brain is I'm tired. I'm absolutely knackered most of the time, and my brain is still on. Okay, no, what's that right there? I have to now test it, and bash it, and destroy it.
But if I'm sitting next to you with a water bottle.
No, but I won't need it when you. That will play anything when you're up here anyway. So it's
no, I'm not saying like when I'm there. I'm saying like I'll come now.
Okay. No, I don't.
And then your glorious muscles will glisten as well. You got to get to the sink.
I don't need that. But no, yeah, it's just taking my QA tester's hat off. That's all it is. And if I'm able to do that, that's great.
Do you reckon?
If I can't.
Sorry, do you reckon if you played exclusively on weekends, would that be better for you?
That's what I'm going to try.
Right, okay.
That's what I'm going to try. That's the thing about it. I have nothing on this weekend. The missus is at work. I'm going to I've got my console here right now. I'm not enjoying my new area right now.
Yeah.
Where how my room is right now. And so I'm going to take my console downstairs for the weekend and I'm going to crack it on my TV and play it there. And we'll just see. Yeah, I think right now I need to sort out like just my gaming habits on the part. Not my gaming habits is just when I can game and everything. I don't think I can during the week. Or if I'm going to do something, it's going to be like I play Football Manager or I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel or something like that.
I could recommend you this
book. My brain off. I don't want to give Vitz ideas to create a book category for Pixel Pop Stars, so now I'm good.
It's fair. There are a lot of books, though, so I probably still wouldn't be able to get any answers to any questions.
That's true. Like, yeah, you'll go ones that you don't know.
Yeah. You'll be like, all right,
what did the hungry caterpillar eat on page 6?
Fuck you, Vitz. I mean your QA brain thing. I mean, I get it to a certain extent because like it's hard to shut off like the part of my brain that like critiques games. As a former video game reviewer, current video essayist, it's like I can't switch that off a lot. Like even while playing Clair Obscur, it's like I'm not making a video of it. I'm not gonna write a professional grade review of it. I'm going to sit on a podcast and chat about it with you guys, but at the same time it is just like having that critic thing in my head, of being like I'm still thinking the thoughts even if I'm not writing them down anymore. So I do get the whole not necessarily being able to separate the two things out to a certain extent. Like the critic thing is not my full-time job to the extent that your QA is your full-time job.
Yes.
Cool. So let's do a halftime break, and we'll come back. Yeah. And we'll do a thing. We're advertising the streaming this week. There isn't an episode of Pixel Pop Stars this week. I'm right?
Not this weekend. No.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. I got the timings right. See you in a minute. Or like 40 seconds. What's up, everybody? Amy here to quickly tell you about our live streams over at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. If you like listening to this podcast for some reason, then you should head over to our Twitch channel every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Whether it's watching me play something weird or old, or weird and old, watching Moody play some kind of Pokemon, watching Vitz brave their fears, or just watching us all shoot the shit, the possibilities are endless. Well, not endless, but there are a lot of them. So come hang out with us. Twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames Sunday at 7:30 p.m. UK time. What's up? We are back. We're going to stop talking about French things now. But I hope you enjoyed that mid-podcast ad read with the incredible ADR letting you know that we're streaming this Sunday. Sunday. Vitz and I know. Yes. It is Sunday for at least the next couple of weeks. Moody and I will be playing Moody will be playing Pokemon, and I will be there too.
Picking the team.
Picking the team again. I'm not allowed to pick the ones from the previous team. Is that correct?
Did I say that?
I don't know. I can't remember if that was
I don't think I did.
or not.
They're dead to you.
I don't think I did.
Dead in general.
If you want to pick the same, if you want to do that, it's your decision.
That's good, because my worry was I've forgotten which Pokemon we got killed. So my worry was I was like, I don't remember which Pokemon.
Let's assume it was all of them. All of them died.
I mean, everyone died. Yes,
they all
everyone
did die.
did
Yeah,
die.
they all did die.
There were no survivors.
There were 0 survivors.
Yeah.
The ground was sown with salt.
Mm-hmm.
And then Moody insisted we use nicknames, and everything went downhill.
Oh, we're going to go wild.
Did you listen to the podcast episode where I was explaining to Vitz that I told Sadie, like, we called the Pokemon Fire Penis, and she immediately assumed it was my idea, and I was like, no, you can check the footage. I was there going, no, let's not do this, please. Damn my reputation.
When Marge
Your
Simpson
reputation of sarcasm, yeah.
He's standing right next to her. It's our force of habit.
Oh, yeah. But no.
Exactly.
What did I do?
Exactly. Sorry, force of habit.
I feel like that a lot. I'm never too mad about it because I have earned my reputation. And I am quite proud of it, to be fair.
No?
So,
you wear that pride.
But every now and again, it's like, but I get why you would think I did this, but I actually didn't do this.
Yeah, this time.
my co-hosts are just as into shenanigans as I am.
Well, it's true. We do love a shenanigans.
We're all fans of the. We're all fans of the shenanigan here at Words About Games.
Mm-hmm.
What else we're fans of? Are indie games, and that means it's time for Indie Game of the Week. This is the thing we do every week where we take a look at a cool looking upcoming indie game that we think looks cool and we think you should go and check out. If you like indie games, you should scroll on down to the description of wherever you're choosing to listen to and or watch this podcast, because we have a link down there for our Steam curator page, which has every single indie game of the week we have ever done. Which is well over 100 games at this point. A lot of games on there, and they all look cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only criteria for being an indie game of the week. Does it look cool? Then it's an indie game of the week. The developer of last week's indie game of the week left a comment on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
thanking us for being. And I always find it weird when like I get thanked for like an indie game of the week or whatever, where I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I've done nothing. Thank you for making cool things.
Yeah, despite this industry, thank you for actually making a thing.
Like, I'm doing nothing. I'm just what, as I always say to Moody, I'm just a dumbass with a microphone and an internet connection. But like, you should go check out last week's Indie Game of the Week, all the Indie Games of the Week, and this week's Indie Game of the Week, which is called Over the Hill. What is Over the Hill, you ask? Let me tell you. Explore, navigate, and uncover the vast wilderness in Over the Hill, the newest installation from the creator of Art of Rally. Ramble your way through varied biomes inspired by real-world locations, from valleys to mountains, and everything in between. Discover portals to travel to new areas and complete objectives to unlock new vehicles, upgrades, customizations, and cosmetics, with many combinations to try. Who knows? Maybe you'll find some hidden gems along the way. And then this paragraph I really liked. The best stories never start at the end. With so much to explore and uncover, it's all about the cruise. Complete all the objectives, unlock the many customizations and upgrades, and discover everything the wilderness has to offer. Just take your time and find peace in the minimalistic serenity.
Yeah, 100%. This game looks incredible. I'm not sure if any of the people here on the podcast checked out Art of Rally, but that game was incredible as well for just getting into a state of zen and a flow state when it comes to just sliding cars through beautiful environments. And then in here we've got, a licensed Toyota Land Cruisers, Ford Broncos, Land Rover Defenders and whatnot. And yeah, you just got beautiful environments to kind of explore. And as Amy alluded to, like going around and upgrading your truck, as it were, or your 4x4, so you'll be able to tackle even harsh terrain and put a winch on your vehicle to help other people out, and so on and so forth. And yeah, just a good old time where it's not necessarily about a race this time around, but just about exploring a beautifully rendered environment.
Going on a road trip.
Add it to your wish list, friends.
Yeah, you should. I like going on road trips in video games. I've noticed. Not necessarily like racing, but like jump in a car, go for a drive. Like I'm thinking, what driving games do I like? Burnout, which is racing, but it's actually crashing, and I'm really good at that. And then it's like Keep Driving, Pacific Drive. It's like these aren't racing games so much as they're road trip games.
Yes.
So like you give me a good road trip in a game, and I'm gonna at least be interested. And that's what I
think GTA is where you draw the line, though. If there's any crime,
it's not really a road trip game. That's yeah.
But you can take a serene drive if you just go up to the mountains and go up to the deserts and whatnot and just cruise around.
I mean, sure, yeah, but then there's the whole like rest.
There's other stuff going on. Yeah,
and I mean,
I appreciate that.
I'm cool with committing crimes in video games, but
officer.
Any lawyers who may be watching this in Discovery.
Taking notes now. Taking timestamps.
Exhibit A. I'm cool with committing crimes.
Do you remember when I said that we don't condone piracy?
Did you watch that back?
Yeah. And how much you broke.
It was a joint effort. Yeah. It was teamwork between Moody and myself with that one for sure. But yeah, no, this is called Over the Hill. There's a link to the game in the description of the podcast. Go click it. Go have a look at the game. Go wishlist the game. I got on my soapbox last week and talked about wishlisting. So I'll save you the soapbox this week, but wishlisting is good and you should do it all the time. If any game you find looks interesting, put it on your wish list.
Yeah.
Still felt a little bit soapboxy, but nowhere near last week. I had a whole speech.
Yeah, the soapbox wasn't as high. This was like a smaller soapbox.
I had a whole speech last week. But yeah, that's it for Indie Game of the Week this week. Check back next week. We'll have a new cool-looking, upcoming indie game that we think looks cool. For now, though, we're going to continue with the rest of the podcast. And Moody, what have you brought for our perusal this week?
Well, I thought I didn't want to talk about the Microsoft layoffs. Boo you, Microsoft.
Yeah.
And all the other shit that's going on out there. So I thought, you know what? Let's talk about something that's pretty decent and everything's out there. So, Giant Bomb sold to site staff by fandom. This article's at Games Industry Bits. Go and check them out. Written by Samuel Roberts. So here we go. Excuse me. Fandom is selling the website and video outlet Giant Bomb to the two of its longest time staff, Jeff Baccarakala and Jeff Go. Sorry if I got the first name wrong. I apologize. Financial terms were not shared as part of the announcement. The news represents a shift from earlier this month when Fandom said that the site was undergoing a strategic reset following a disagreement of new content guidelines that led to staff exiting the brand. This generated a heated response on social media platforms Bluesky. Now, Grubb and Bacala have full ownership of the brand, including its operations. The site is financially supported by users. Quote, Giant Bomb is now owned by the people who make Giant Bomb, and it would not have been possible without the speedy effort of Fandom and our mutual agreement on what's best for fans and creators, said Grubb and in a joint statement. The quote, the future of Giant Bomb is now... no, have I already said that part? No, yeah. The future of Giant Bomb is now in the hands of our supportive community, who have always had our backs no matter what. We'll have a lot more to say about what this looks like soon. But for now, everyone can trust that all the support we've received goes directly to this team. GameSpot owners Fandom has said the move was a, quote, strategic decision to transition the brand back to its independent roots. We're confident Giant Bomb is in good hands and its legacy will live On with Jeff and Jeff. The company said in a statement, Giant Bomb first launched in 2008, founded by former GameSpot staff following the dismissal of the editor Jeff Getzman. Yeah, so yeah, so we don't see here a lot of things. What was it, about a month ago we were hearing that a lot of staff quit and everything, and
what the hell happened?
They bought
like,
it wasn't even that. So I think that essentially they started to move into doing live streams, and what that meant was that the content wasn't quote unquote PG. So people were the talent they were being themselves, which came with some colorful language, and then fandom came down from the ivory towers and said, "Hey, we've got to think about brand safety here, and can you make it PG?" And the team there said, "Well, that's not who we are." And they said, "All right, then we're going to do something about that." And then they put the kibosh on all the live streams, and then the editors took a stand one by one and says, "Okay, well, you're gonna have to fire me then." And then they came to a mutual agreement to kind of person by person. They were just leaving all the editors kind of left fandom, and then they came to this solution. And they recently had a panel at PAX, and that's when they came. They signed the hours. They signed the deal hours before they were due to have this panel, and that's how they kind of announced it to the world. And they were saying, GameSpot has new owners, and Giant Bomb has new owners, and you're looking at them, and the crowd erupted, and the Jeff Grubb has been doing the rounds as well as Dan Reinkert and stuff like that to say on various different podcast networks to not necessarily share all the ins and outs about the story, because a lot of it remains confidential in terms of the financial agreements and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot to be said, not only for Giant Bomb becoming independent once again, and now being fully community supported in terms of crowdfunding and what have you. But it's cool that in this instance, and I think it's rare to say, that fandom was cool about selling it and giving them the full rights to the IP, the website, the social media accounts, all the legacy content as well, because they could have easily just scuttled the rest of it and says, well, any ad revenue they get from the old stuff, that still comes to us. You have to make your new stuff from scratch. And they weren't like that in this instance. And I believe it's part of the article that fandom was saying that they still want to do what's best in the fans' interests at the end of the day.
Yeah, sure.
Whether that's corporate speak or not, who knows? But this is a situation that we ended up with. But it's just it's a good feel-good story for independent creators, and it's another message out there to say, if you enjoy independent creators, sadly in this economy, you have to financially support them because they don't survive otherwise. And the team over at Kind of Funny were really forward in terms of, as soon as they heard about this deal going down, they were the first sponsor of their Giant Bomb's first stream coming back, which I thought was a really nice touch. Just to show their kind of commitment to the bit, and to show their support for the staff that are at Giant Bomb now. So yeah.
Yeah, it was no doubt corporate speak, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, I think Jeff Grubb's right on the part of just they didn't need to do this. They could have just not spoken to him about it or whatsoever. He says they did. So it was fair play to them, even if it was corporate or not.
Yeah. They could have just forced them to relaunch as tiny nukes or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of the same, quote unquote, the same a little bit, but not the same circumstances of what happened with the team at Second Wind.
And a few other teams. Ago? It was. I think it was. They just did a thing. It might have been a year ago. They've just done hey, we've been around for a year or 2 years. Here's what's going on, because they just hired Jenna Staber to do a series, and I really like Jenna Staber.
Right. Very nice.
But yeah, they've been around for a year or two. It's like corporate ownership of game media in general, but let's not open that can of worms on a video game podcast. Corporate ownership of games media is pretty much always going to end in disasters like this.
Yeah.
Or Second Wind or Polygon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Because a lot of things is run by personalities, and that's why when you see the ones that succeed, I think it's because they've got a big following, because of because the people really like the people who on the shows and everything. So I've always had like we slightly sometimes like joke and diss Jeff Grubb when it comes to like his predictions or
you can
like
say
his
me.
reporting.
You don't have to say we. You can say
I've
Amy
said
does
that as well. I've said it as well.
Amy has an imaginary beef with Jeff Grubb.
No, but I have said it as well, though. I'm not going to deny that. Where the entire industry goes, he has said it. This is gospel. This is truth, and everything. And where every single podcaster and everything is just going,
"Where's my Switch Pro,
he's
Jeff?"
Just like, no, it's not. It's a guess.
You have it. It's a Switch 2.
yeah, it is a guess, guys. And even he says it. He's a guess. It's a guess. He's not saying I fucking know this half the time. Just that the industry giving him too much power sometimes. But anyway, I have no I don't know the man personally like that, but like how. When you see this type of thing and the love they've been getting and everything it's really refreshing to see when a lot of hate you see all online these days. And to see they were able to rectify this and do it in a really great way when they were at where were they at? PAX East, did you say, Vitz?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
where they announced it in front of their entire to their fans, basically their audience. That's great. It's great to see and everything. Like I said, I don't really watch their content or anything like that. It's just not for me or anything. But yeah, congratulations for the team to be able to get this type of thing, because I'm sure all of them were probably a little bit worried, thinking, I have now just quit my job. I don't know what I'm going to do. Jeff, I think I saw something going when Jeff was on Kind of Funny when this all kicked off. He said, I'm going to be fine. We've spoken, me and my partner and everything like that, whatever. I'm going to go alone and do this whole thing. And obviously things changed, which is really good for them. And it's more of just like a happy little thing of just like, congratulations to the team. I hope they are a big success and everything. Just like the team, like obviously, Kind of Funny were the biggest. Kind of Funny were pioneers in this type of thing, where when it all kicked off 10 years ago, literally 10 years ago. Fucking hell, 10 years ago. Yeah. It is literally 10 years ago for Kind of Funny, isn't it? This
sure
year.
is.
But and they've pioneered. Obviously, we've seen it with Second Wind, Easy Allies, now with games, Giant Bomb, and I'm sure there's other ones I'm missing off there. Congratulations, and like I hope it does continue with them, and to the people who are big fans of them, back them. You know, like if you can, back them if you can, and everything like that. Because if you really like their content and you're able to give them the support and the love they deserve and everything, and yeah,
that's where I was gonna jump in. It's like and I'm sure I have made this point on the podcast before. We're in a state, we're in a state now, where. Like more and more independent stuff is popping up. Like, you know, you had the guys from Waypoint and that entire debacle, and now we have Remap, and now we've got Giant Bomb, an independent Giant Bomb again. You've got Kind of Funny. You've got like other independent games coverage media such as NoClip or another example that I had in my head, and then I said
Easy Allies?
Word. We'll go with Easy Allies. That wasn't it, but I don't know. There's loads of them. But People Make Games are another great one. And like, if you enjoy quality video game coverage, then and you can afford it, because obviously not everybody has, you know, has financial security, and that's cool. Like, all of this stuff is available for free. All of this stuff is available for free for a reason. But if you have the means, you need to like financially support these things, because they don't like the old model is dead. There's not many companies who can survive on the old ad supported model anymore. Especially
I don't think anybody can exclusively.
Especially with corporate, the ones that are owned by corporations, and corporations demand more and more profits, right? It's why there's always been layoffs at GameSpot. There's always been layoffs. There's always layoffs at IGN, for example. And to escape that, we're making that move into like subscription support, fan support, and I think that's the correct move, right? Because if your customers aren't shareholders, a corporate owner, your customers are the people you're making things for. And that's fucking great, right? Because guess what? Like, if your customers are the people you're making things for, then you're going to make things for those people. Like I have a lot of
100%.
subscriptions on like a second YouTube account that I have because these sites move way too fast for me. So like I like scrolling through sometimes. So I have like tons of subscriptions on YouTube for like like Giant Bomb and Kind of Funny and Remap and all that stuff, and I like scroll through it and click on things that interest me. But also like I have been and so, like I dip in and out depending on my financial circumstances, but like I do support a lot of these places when I can, and I think more people need to do that. Like when Giant Bomb and Polygon, the news first went down about both of them before Giant Bomb came back as independent. Like there was I think Aiden Moore on Bluesky was circulating like this big fucking list of like all these independent video game coverage places, and I think like I learned about a lot of like new places from that list, and like there's a lot more than I thought there was.
Yeah, I think they made a starter pack, and it just had like a ton of entries. Yeah, to your point, yeah, that if you're in a position to support financially, and if you're not, then sharing the content that you like and engaging with it in the ways that you can often do a lot for these entities on their own. So whether it is I know it sounds trite, but liking a video, leaving a comment, all that they'll be able to put in their portfolio when they do go to companies looking for sponsorship programs and sponsorship packages to say, look, this is the engagement that we have, and these are the numbers, and this is the engaged audience, the active audience you can speak to, and that's a more it's a better pitch when it comes to these businesses, rather than just we've got a sheer number. And I appreciate the likes of IGN and GameSpot. I believe IGN do with their Prime whatever it is, but yeah, the subscriptions that they have, that is just for corporate overlords Ziff Davis to get more money at the end of the day. It is not supporting the creators there. Now, yeah, you can argue, oh, well, they get a paycheck from the big corporate overload, but that's not what we're talking about here.
No.
So support in the ways that you can.
Yeah, no, like it's not about total like and I can speak on this somewhat, not necessarily from a sponsorship position or like from like a deals position or anything like that. Like in terms of an access position, like it's about engagement more than it's about subscriber numbers. Like like if you have 1 million subscribers but low engagement, and someone else has 10,000 subscribers but high engagement, like in terms of like getting access to like review codes, developer interviews and stuff, the channel with 10,000 will get that over the channel with 1 million.
Yes.
Because you want an engaged audience to see the thing that, like the interview or the game review or whatever. That's how, even though I've never had a massive amount of subscribers, I got a lot of game codes. Because I had a small, very small, tiny, micro, engaged like following, and consistency was another big factor in that. Yeah, and just from like as a creator standpoint to what you were saying about like leave a like, leave a comment, fucking love that shit, man. It's like catnip. Like if you leave a comment on a video that's just like, hey, I enjoyed this. That my day is made.
Yeah,
like
when you get that notification through YouTube Studio, and it pops up saying, "Oh, so and so's commented," and you're able to give it a like and all sorts. And
when I released that Elden Ring video, I was on cloud nine for like a week and a half when I was getting like comments and stuff on it. I was just like, man, this is fucking sick. People are watching and saying they liked it. I don't understand what.
What is this emotion?
What is this?
Exactly.
But it sucks. But no, I think games, like we talked last week about how like I think the games industry is going through a painful and necessary change, and I think games media is the same. And it's not all like, it's like the changes that it's going through are positive in a lot of ways. Like independent ownership is great when it's like supported in terms of like the way like Giant Bomb and Kind of Funny are, for example. The only problem is I keep saying the word games coverage and not games journalism because they are definitely two separate things.
100%.
And investigative journalism can only really happen if you have a department full of lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously a place like, say, all of the names are flying through my head all at once. Like a place like Remap, for example, can't do investigative journalism to the point of like, we just had one from IGN that I shared in our Discord about
Reb's piece,
the thing that happened, and you commented, you were like, "Why can't we have nice things?"
Able
Gamers thing.
Able Gamers, that was it.
The things about, like, you know, the revelations about Rockstar and Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft back in the day and stuff like that. Like, you can't do that unless you have lawyers. Like, like you need legal clearance to say things like that. Otherwise, you'll just get stomped by the multi-million-pound company. So there is like still things to figure out in this like brave new world that we're slowly transitioning into. But I couldn't be happier that so many places are popping up, like Second Wind and Independent Giant Bomb, and like that they're actually getting the support they need to make the things that they want to make. I think that's fantastic.
No, 1,000%. And yeah, to Moody's point, how Jeff was on kind of funny content early before this news broke, saying, you know, he's going to be okay. Like, it was still a tumultuous time for them because he had to explain the situation to his daughter, who I believe is like 6, and you know, he was talking about how it's hard for her to get a head wrapped around all this, and understandably so. Trying to explain this to any child, so all they're hearing is that, you know, their parent doesn't have a job anymore, and you can only go so far to kind of assuage their fears. It's like, you know what, it's going to be okay. We still got money. We don't have to live in a box or anything like that. But yeah, I'm glad that at least on the surface it's all sunshine and rainbows. And yeah, hopefully that the groundswell of support that is coming through their way through you know, crowdfunding and all the rest of it, that is able to sustain them until they're able to get a more sustainable business model, because you know, sadly the economy is only going one way, and they won't always be able to depend on the crowdfunding because people just won't have the money at some point.
In theory, who knows?
Yeah,
maybe the planet will just explode. It's like, you know what? I've had enough of this shit. Bang. That's it.
Oh, isn't there a meteor meant to pass in a couple of years' time?
No, it was supposed to come, and then like it's getting further and further away every time they look at it, and it's like, oh well.
Hey,
see, even a meteor doesn't want to hit us.
Maybe we'll get it.
Even
next
that's
time.
just like, nah, man, they're too much trouble.
Oh, fuck that.
Take too much work.
We need a Sephiroth to summon meteor just to bring it a little bit closer to us, and then we'll be all right.
Try those aliens from Independence Day.
But then we have to tie Jeff Goldblum up. Say, no, you can't go up there.
Yeah, somebody find Will Smith.
Doing that. I don't mind doing that.
Stop them.
Exactly.
We'll be Naruto running in Area 51 again before you know it.
Brett Spiner, what are you doing down here?
Oh God. I just recently rewatched that movie. It's a great movie. I love it. It's 90s as hell, and I love it. But
that speech he gives just before he gets on that plane is amazing.
Oh, Brett Spiner. What were you thinking in that movie?
He was thinking paycheck is what he was thinking.
Look at all
like
this
he needs
money.
to pay. Like he needed a paycheck then.
Hey, money's always good when you're working in that industry. You don't know when your next meal's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, it was the 90s, and he was on a show that was in perpetual syndication. I think he was fine. It's not like it is now.
I never did 3 movies as well, so which you'll continue to keep getting royalties.
Yeah. I never did watch the Independence Day movie that came out because I heard it was trash. Yeah,
Resurgence. Like, it's something.
It certainly.
It's something.
Exists.
So it's definitely exists. Yeah, it definitely
it's a thing.
Exists.
But yeah, no. Support independent creators. Everybody out there. Like, I feel like if people are clicking on this podcast, I feel like they already know that. But if you didn't, you do now.
And spread the word. to other people.
Share things. It's the impetus behind why like I pitched you guys, the new segment at the beginning of the podcast, cool things that we like, or whatever the fuck I'm gonna end up calling it. Like
let's be nice.
it's let's be nice, sure, but it's also just like I am someone who isn't amazing at remembering to share things that I enjoyed, right? And it's like cool, like I'm gonna force myself because I think the algorithm, all it does is it funnels things that are already popular to the top, and that's cool because like some things are popular for a reason, but it's like everything else underneath, like deserves like to be shared if it's something that you like, right? It's like, and I mean, I have a burner YouTube account, like I've told both of you, I switch to when I need to click on something questionable,
unsavory
on YouTube, like
something golden,
like something where it's like there's things happening and it's an Asmongold thing, and it's like, I mean, I don't want to watch Asmongold on my normal fucking YouTube account
because they'll keep appearing.
Yeah, because then it'll just get. And to be fair, like I'm swearing off the algorithm as much as possible. Like I literally just bypass that screen, the home screen altogether now, and go straight to my subscriptions tab. But like,
yes, I do.
The let me tell you, on that burner account.
I can only imagine.
It's not great. Like it's not great. What that account is like. Hey, do you want to watch this? And I'm like, no. Why? But I can understand why it thinks I do, because of the things that I click on that account. But like even on my main YouTube account, where all I watch is like 2-hour videos about William Shatner's Tech War, like. It's still occasionally we'll try and like throw in a, hey, do you want to watch this video about how woke gaming is destroying, like how the woke rise destroying the gaming? And I'm like, no, because it's stupid.
Yes, 100%, and it's all rage clickbait stuff.
Some bald man is going to scream about pronouns, and I'm just like, why wouldn't? No, thank you. I have a brain cell. I'm not going, like, I don't want to click on that. Thank you. Why aren't you recommending me more Giant Bomb videos?
They know you don't like that either.
Is it because of the thing with Jeff Grubb? Because I'm not actually mad at Jeff Grubb. I'm mad at everybody else. I just take it out
the rest of the Giant Bomb team.
No, I'm just mad at everybody else on the internet. I'm not mad at Jeff Grubb. I just take it out on Jeff Grubb. But
weirdly, they don't recommend stuff with bomb in the title to us brown folks. That just doesn't happen on YouTube.
I wonder why that is. That's weird. Have you ever seen the movie How to Blow Up a Pipeline?
I have not. No.
I want to watch it, but I'm worried what's going to happen if I do. It's like I see it sometimes on like, because I scroll through Google TV. Which is basically just like where you rent and buy films on it, and it like comes up every now and again, and like I think about it, but then I'm like, I mean, the lock on my door is not exactly sturdy. And I'm pretty sure this thing knows where I live.
Yeah. And it will sell you out in a nanosecond.
Hell yeah. Absolutely it will. But Giant Bomb's back, and that's good.
Hell yeah!
I based
all the success.
I based our top 100 games stream format on the way Giant Bomb does this Game of the Year stuff, and we all remember how well that went for us.
Perfect. It was incredible.
No,
it's the greatest episode of on YouTube out there, right?
Sure is.
I believe it's classed as lost media at this point.
Would you call it media?
I mean, it's moving pictures and sounds. It's media.
Yeah, I guess.
I wouldn't call it art. Yes. It's one of
yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
It might be the only thing I've ever made that I would be comfortable labeling content.
I wouldn't even call it content.
No, there's definitely some stuff in it. Maybe, who knows? I'm the only person who has a copy.
It's something that begins with C, that's for sure.
And it will stay locked in on my computer until I die. And probably beyond.
Beyond.
I'll put it in my will. You can release the footage after I'm dead. Yeah, sure. I don't know how to segue that into anything, but it's time for OpenCritic Head-To-Head. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic's average of upcoming games. Whoever gets closest to the score at the time of recording gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Got one game up for... I was going to say grabs. This isn't that kind of game show. We've got one game with a score. It's called Doom: The Dark Ages. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's kind of small
Once
tier.
or twice.
Small time. Yeah. Doom? Nah, don't know what you're talking about.
New IP, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I don't think it's ever been like a game franchise or anything like that. Like
This new engine too, id Tech.
id. I don't know who id.
Never gonna take off.
Never, no. That doesn't sound like a great name for a game publisher, if I'm being honest. But hey, whatever. Maybe this small little startup will succeed in ways we have yet to understand. But yeah, Doom: The Dark Ages. I guessed it we get an 80. Vitz guessed it we get an 82. Moody guessed it we get an 88. At the time of recording, Doom: The Dark Ages has an OpenCritic average of 86, which gives Moody a point and keeps the scores at Amy 8, Vitz 12, Moody 18.
Congrats.
It's Doom. I said it when I guessed it. Yeah, I was like, I should guess high. Even though, like, I personally am not feeling the game. I should still guess high. But then I decided not to. What are you going to
do?
Yeah. Guess high. That's what I should have.
That's it.
What are you going to do? All my guesses from now on will be in the 90s for everything. This week, we are going to do 2 games. One of which comes out next week, one of which comes out the week after.
Yeah, May 30th for the second one, right?
It is. The first one is Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny. And I've never played an Onimusha game. So you can imagine, but like it's a series that interests me. But you can imagine my annoyance when all I can think about when I see Onimusha 2 is the fucking bit in Kind of Funny with the interview where Greg runs out and does the stupid stars in the back thing. And I'm like,
stupid. It wanted the season 3 title.
I mean, it did.
3-peat.
It's now like permanently tied together with this video game franchise.
It was a fantastic interview all before that happened.
I mean, it's not like I watched the interview. I just found out about the thing and watched that bit. So maybe it's on me that this happened.
That's true.
But it was funny.
there was a thing to listener in Pixel Pop Stars where Amy has this like realization of maybe I need to start watching some movies because
I watch movies. They're just not the stupid movies. Like I've got a movie right here. It's Akira Kurosawa's Throne of Blood, which is a samurai adaptation of Macbeth. Like I watch movies. I just don't watch popular movies. And I'm not like a hipster about it. It's just like I watch things that interest me. Look, see, here's the other one I've got. Nosferatu.
Not a hipster.
I'm not. I like these movies.
I'm joking.
Look, here's a popular movie for you. It's called The Matrix Resurrections. That was popular, right?
That was not popular.
Oh, that was a load of crap.
You're a load of crap.
I sure am. But my guess for Onimusha 2... Samurai's Destiny. So this is a remake / remaster, right?
Yes.
Pretty
much. The second game. I think it's gonna get a 78.
78.
Yeah.
What do you think the Onimusha 2? What do you think the Samurai's Destiny is?
That they die at the end. They have to make a noble sacrifice.
I don't know.
And then
but there's 2 more
John
games.
Reno comes in the third one.
I saw that game cover, and I was very confused. I was like, wait, what?
The dude from Leon?
75.
It's on my list, though. I definitely want to try Onimusha. I got a lot of weird old games to play. You should see the games I've got on the Amiga feed. Jesus Christ. Even, when Moody how Moody asked me that one question that one time of what is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with me? Can we make this a podcast topic one week? Just like, what the fuck is wrong with Amy?
Be simple. We'll both say go and get therapy.
Yeah, go to your therapist.
I did.
Go to your therapist and ask that question.
Like, I don't want to. I don't.
So you want us unprofessionals to diagnose what is wrong with Amy?
In terms of just me in general, like there's nothing wrong with me. I'm fucking awesome. I mean, in terms of like, here are the things that Amy like could talk about on YouTube.com, but here are the things that she's choosing to talk about on YouTube.com, and like, why? What is wrong here? Like, what has gone wrong?
Therapist just says you're a hipster.
I'm not a hipster. Like,
no, but what? How funny would it be if your therapist just turned around and says, "Hipster"?
You're a hipster.
Maybe I'm just pretentious. I don't know, right? Like, I just
isn't that a hipster?
I don't know. I don't know what a hipster is. I just keep saying the word because I heard it in TV shows. I'm watching Severance. That was popular. Right?
It was, but you do it in a hipster way. You weren't watching it at the time. You were watching it after the fact.
Fuck you. I watched it when it first came out. That is a hipster. I liked it before you all did.
See?
That's a hipster. Was there 3 years ago, Gandalf.
Yeah, we've solved what's wrong with Amy. There we go. Didn't take an entire episode. That's how great is that?
Mm-hmm. How much are you going to charge for your therapy, Moods?
I mean, I've told you.
What's your therapy fee going to be to Amy? How much are you going to put on your invoice?
One pizza that I already owe him.
A second pizza.
Okay, right then.
I'm going to owe
President second pizza.
I already owe him one pizza. I'll buy one for Adora as well.
It's a bit late as well.
Doggy pizza. She would, yeah.
She really would.
Shit, I still need to guess. 81.
Nice.
For Onimusha 2. Next up, so I don't think reviews will drop early for Elden Ring Night Rain, but I'm not taking that chance. The way OpenCritic is going at the moment, like, I'll take any game that I know is going to actually get a fucking score.
Yes.
For this stupid fucking game.
Maybe you should have done that from the beginning.
I did. We only used to do one game a week.
I didn't say you had to do multiple games.
Elden Ring Night Rain. Vitz, what do you think?
90.
Elden Ring Fortnite Battle Royale Save the World mode. I don't know. I've never played that game because apparently I'm a hipster.
It says apparently.
Well, no, it's true. I have played it for 10 minutes. The servers didn't work. It was launched there. Moody.
Idiot.
Oof, you're leaving me in a rough position here.
He's gonna go 79.
100. Well, it's another one of those. It's like Doom: The Dark Ages. It's like, look, I'm not yucking anybody's yum here, and like Elden Ring is like my fucking favorite game ever. But like, I have no interest in a multiplayer battle royale fast.
Well, it's not about
Elden
what you're
Ring.
interested in, though.
Like, so it's like, yeah, and I made this mistake last week, where it was like, do I follow me? Someone who's literally said on this podcast, no one should ever market anything or make anything for me specifically. Your entire company will be destroyed. Or do I follow like what I think is going to happen? And are those the same thing? Are those different? Online games have a lot of technical issues at launch.
How about throwing a third one?
You want me to put?
Sometimes I think just that's why I went high with Doom. It's just the IP alone behind it. I think is going to put it up high.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think. I think just the name,
the brand
recognition, bump as well in there.
It's going to put it up high.
No. There's no. We all know that there's a conspiracy against Xbox games. That's why they all review really badly.
Sure.
100% of the time.
Exactly.
That's
why they're no longer Xbox games, because they go on PlayStation.
Yeah, so that's why they're all reviewing well now, because they're all PlayStation games. This is an Xbox.
Fuck that. Because they're PlayStation games.
It's like you say this is an Xbox, I say fuck that. This is a PlayStation game.
Exactly.
It is for me.
You'll hear about this Indiana Jones.
It is for me. That's the console that I have.
That was her game of the year, the controller, that year.
Well, I mean, in spirit, I wasn't technically allowed to have a controller as game of the year. But it was, like, in spirit, like, my game of the year. This controller.
Controller, I think, is still the best controller ever created right now.
It's so good. Like,
it is.
It's with a longer battery life, but yeah, it's
I'm fine. Like, 100%. So
yeah,
this is where I'm playing from, right? And like,
so she always has a charging.
Yeah, and if you see where I'm pointing, that's where my PlayStation 5 is.
Right. Okay.
So like, I'm always plugged in, baby.
Nice.
Like, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm gonna say 91. Nope, that's 19. 91.
No,
I'm not
19,
saying 90.
You went 19. Oh, wow. Damn.
Do you remember when I said Avengers were getting 97? Because that's what my dice told me.
Yeah. The thing is, it started there.
It did.
It actually did. Quickly went down.
I'll go to bat for the Avengers single player story. Like, and say,
well, that opening made me cry. Yeah,
the whole game,
yeah,
is really good from a story perspective. From a gameplay perspective, not great. And then there's the rest of it.
Yeah,
that's the thing about it. Like, I never completed it. Like, I gave it a go, and I was just like, this was one of the instances where gameplay was just like, you're destroying my fun of the story. Wow, congratulations to it. So yeah. Which was a shame.
It is.
Like Square Enix really didn't have a fun time with Marvel games, did they?
Well, no, like, they did that one good one. Apart from the fact that, like, you and I, Moody, are like the only two people in the fucking world who couldn't finish it.
Yeah,
we owned it on Tuesday. Well, we had it. We thought we both rented it. I had it on PlayStation, and Rudy had it on Xbox. And legit, we both had like game-breaking bugs, different game-breaking bugs, and could not get past it. And mine kept crashing. And it was so annoying because I was like, I'm actually enjoying like
the story,
this game,
the gameplay.
And I ended up having to bail because I couldn't get like it just like I could boot it up and play a little bit more, but then it would crash again, and it was just getting so fucking frustrating. It went free on Prime. I think I actually own it now.
It did, yeah.
So I could play it whenever I want and add it to the pile after I play my weird Sega Saturn games.
So to recap the scores, I went with 90, Moody 88, Amy 91 for Elden Ring Night Rain.
Real talk here, an actual like on-topic talk. Is anyone gonna play this Elden Ring Night Rain? I know you're not because you're you.
But you asked anyone. I'm anyone.
I know.
This is true.
If it was just a Vitz, you should have said, "Vitz, are you going to play this?"
Well, I didn't think.
Fuck you, Moody. I know your answer already.
You said you were weirdly interested in Elden Ring Night Rain after the reveal trailer.
I admit that, yeah, but at the same time, I'm just like,
now you've got regular Elden
I've got another game, so I'm just like, yeah, I'm not. If I go to another game, Claire is never going to get played.
Do we know how much this thing's going to be?
I believe it's 50. It's a 50 quid game.
Okay.
Why did I write? Oh my god! I just wrote. So I started typing, and instead of writing Night Rain, I wrote Nay. Elden Ring Nay.
Oh, it's £35.
Is it?
Oh wow!
Oh hell yeah!
So maybe yes.
I mean, hell, you know what? For that, I'll buy that for $1. Like, I mean, I'm not. I'm not.
Let me check the recommended specs. See if I meet those.
Well, it'll be Elden Ring, right? Like,
yeah, probably.
Can you play Elden Ring? And you can play this.
I like so minimum specs is GTX 1060, and recommended specs is GTX 1070. I was like, okay, so there's not a lot of wiggle room there, but yeah, should be all good. But yeah, so I've never been one for. I think the only like multiplayer game that I've got into, or the last one, was kind of like Fall Guys in that summer of Fall Guys that we had during the peak of lockdown. But yeah, like if we get a squad together, then for sure I'm down to try. Because your boys learned how to parry in Elden Ring, so maybe we need to take that to Night Rain.
He did. It's true. I've seen the footage evidence. He's very, very good at parrying. Disgustingly good at parrying. It's a little annoying, if I'm being honest.
It's annoying. You too can learn.
I'm the Elden Ring YouTuber. How come you're better at it than I am?
Just as he's better than you as Halo.
Yeah, it's true.
This is true.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Kind of set it up. I felt
I did. It's true. I'm gonna beat Vitz at something. There's plenty more charity. You know what? In fact, I don't even need to worry about beating Vitz at something, because £20 raised for Safe in Your World will mean I get to sit on twitch.tv/words about games and watch Vitz play Alien Isolation. And you know what? That's a victory as far as I'm concerned. That would be better than beating him in Halo.
Like, even I will feel like I'm winning there. I won't lie.
I've won, baby.
Imagine if I just played that game like it was Doom. I just managed to mod it somehow on my end. So I'm just able to like have guns and just be whipping forward.
It'll just be like, Moody, how did he parry the alien?
Exactly.
What the
He'd
fuck?
take his tongue out. Here, Moody, I
thought this thing was Mr. X basically from Resident Evil. It's meant to be.
It is meant to be. It just parried it.
It's not running away, screaming and crying. It's what we've come for.
What if we're? That's true, actually. What if we're getting played right now? Like, you know, because I've never seen Vitz play a scary game. Like, what if this is all a trick? So that we didn't force Vitz. So that we didn't force Vitz to do something he didn't want to do. What if he's like super into horror games and he's never played Alien Isolation and we've just fallen for it?
I do enjoy, Alien Romulus was a good film.
Like, I'm starting to get worried now. I think we might have fallen for Vitz's trap. Vitz is definitely smarter than both of us.
I don't know about that.
Okay, Vitz is definitely smarter than me. I shouldn't speak for Moody. That's rude.
Oh no, you were correct. Yeah, yeah,
oh, good. Anyway, that's probably going to do it for episode 400, something. Numbers. Whatever I said at the beginning of the podcast. Moody.
Hear me?
It says here it's your time to shine.
Apparently so. Hello, everybody. Be proud you made it. Another day is behind you. Another week has passed. But do you want to know what else you have? The future. You have a future that's all yours to decide. Let it fly, you heated fury, because it's time to party. We're all welcome each other from far and wide. Unlike the Prime Minister, we'll be helping each other out all the way. Unlike the Prime Minister, go live your best life. It all starts from level 1. Now, high five that sky. Live long and prosper. The journey is yours. It starts now. Fuck the Prime Minister.
My name is Amy K. Alexander, and I approve this message.
Exactly.